Good morning, everyone. Super nice to be here. Thank you for organizing this great conference. I'm Jakob. I'm one of the co-founders of Lemonade Social, which I kindly explained before. And I'm also one of the founding members of the Network State Protocol. So what's the Network State Protocol? Just checking if the clicker works. How do I get back? Cool. So it's a decentralized cooperation framework for communities and countries. So basically there's a lot of stuff going on right now with DAOs and decentralized organizations, and it's really hard to manage all of this, and that's why we initially started building the Network State Protocol to simplify this whole process and to launch a no-code platform to launch countries. So what's the definition actually of a network state? So we started building on this over like 2 years ago, and then last year Balaji was actually writing a book about the network state. So he obviously put the definition of a network state the best. It's a highly aligned community upon the capacity for collective action. So collective action I really want to highlight here, because right now everyone is kind of like building completely in isolation in Web3. This is also like a really good quote from Lex Sokolin, and he put it really well. So we have been building in Web3 for the last decade, infrastructure, services, products, but everyone is really building in isolation. At least it feels like everyone is building in isolation. So maybe it needs a Web3 nation and a network state to completely align everything and to really make a change in the world. So we came up with 4 pillars to turn a group chat into a network state. Now I'm going to present now the 4 different pillars and how easy it really is, the whole framework and infrastructure. So identity is the foundation of any decentralized community and network state, because you really truly need to know who are you presenting yourself within the community, who's everyone else, right? Like who are the other players in the community? And on top of it, you truly need to own your own passport. So right now in countries or nations, like people could potentially say, hey, give me your passport, and then you don't own a passport anymore. But since this is like truly on-chain, like no one can take it away from you. So true ownership. So we came up with our own SSID stacks, self-sovereign identities. So they are truly multi-chain, permissionless. They are actually not JPEGs because they're on-chain vector designs. They are customizable, upgradable, and inclusive. And I will show you in detail like how that works. In terms of like customization and making them upgradable, so you can pretty much for a passport photo use any of your existing NFTs. You can obviously also use like a Ready Player Me or any other passport photo, and you can always change it whenever you want. So it's upgradable and customizable. For the username, you can use any of your existing usernames, or create a new one. And whenever you use this on-chain username and refer other citizens, you can also actually earn a kickback of 10%. And the decentralized timeline, so you can truly represent who you are in Web3 by showcasing like your posts, NFTs, and your decentralized timeline. They are truly secular. So we truly believe in multi-chain, and how we have done this is we're collaborating with XLR and also with Chainlink for on-chain price feeds to make it possible that everyone can choose on which chain they want to have their passport on. So the base layer is actually on Moonbeam, and then XLR and Chainlink basically make it possible that everyone can choose, oh, I want to have my passport on Ethereum, I want to have my passport on Arbitrum, and so on, right? So everyone can choose in which chain they truly believe. These passports are completely inclusive because anyone can purchase them either via credit card or with any cryptocurrencies. You can earn your citizenships because they're gonna come with like $100. So not everyone, especially like in other countries and regions in the world, like $100 is actually a lot of money. But you can earn your citizenship by like referring other citizens. And you can also crowdfund your passports. Second pillar is information. So in decentralized communities which are gathered across the world, one thing is really important. You need to know which information you can actually trust. So right now in the world, there's actually a lot of fake news, AI-generated content, biased content, censored content, right? So how can we solve this problem in decentralized communities that you can truly trust this information? So first, we integrated the Matrix protocol, which is an open source, end-to-end encryption messaging service. So kind of like think of a decentralized Slack, which can be used within these communities to keep the engagement going on and to actually message within these communities. You can also token gate it, and it's completely censor resistant. With Lemonade, as I mentioned before, we have been building over the last 5 years tools for creators to truly build communities and engage these communities. So what these communities, especially when they're all over the world, are needing is actually true engagement. That's also what's missing right now in a lot of different decentralized organizations. So we have like different tools to host events, virtual events, in real life events, to have messaging, NFTs, to truly engage the community. For the knowledge bases, we're actually collaborating with Arviv. So how this works is, think of a Web3 Wikipedia where the community members come in, they provide a knowledge base, and other community members are actually coming in and flagging wrong and false content. So like this, you make sure that the content which is provided within is always true and correct. So it's managed by the community actually. And everyone who's flagging content and then it actually gets approved by the community, they can actually earn tokens for flagging this and helping that the knowledge bases are correct. And obviously in Web 2 we have like lots of different like analytic tools to really find out like who is in my community, who are the most engaged community members. So that's also something what you actually need in Web 3. So it's truly important like to know like who are the community members and who are like the top engaged members, and then to potentially also incentivize them. The third pillar is permissionless commerce. So that's where the fun part actually happens and true action can actually also happening. So we're collaborating with Genesis Safes. So every network state, decentralized community, automatically when they purchase one of these passports, they also get access to these community treasuries, where everyone within the community can actually vote on how to spend this money. So truly decentralized and giving the power back to the people on how they can actually spend this money. But only from passport sales, it might be quite hard to actually like sum up big sums of money. So as I mentioned, we have also built lots of different tools which you can use to generate even additional funds. So you can have like your own decentralized shop systems. You can start selling and minting NFTs, and then you can also earn on the royalties of these NFTs. So truly a way to actually create more funds within these communities. We're providing for every new user a custodial wallet to make the onboarding process for everyone who's outside of Web3 like super seamless, where we're covering all the gas fees to make the onboarding process and coming into these organizations super easy and seamless. And we're working on a non-custodial wallet because as soon as someone is actually like generating tokens and creating assets, right, they need to have true ownership of their own assets. So the last pillar is power, separation of power in state and governance. So how usually these communities start, usually it starts with, let's say, one person, 5 people, right? It starts usually very small. And we chose these words of like tribe, village, town, city, and so on, because even back in the days, if you wanted to create a village, usually different tribes came together to actually form villages. And then if different villages came together, they actually formed cities. So everything starts super small, and a network state is nothing else. It wouldn't make sense to start purchasing like big amounts of land, but then you actually are like only a crew of like, I don't know, 10, 15 people, right? So it always starts very small with building a community, engaging this community, being highly aligned on vision and mission. And then depending on the size of these decentralized communities, also the governance structure becomes way more complex. So what we want to do is pretty much we want to give like a certain framework to all of these communities. Everyone is governed themselves, but I think it's important to have a little bit of a guideline, right, for it. And how we're seeing the decentralized governance is so we're collaborating here with Tally and Aragon DAO to make this possible. We have a legislature, executive, judiciary, and reserve. So the legislature are actually the community builders, the people who truly engage everyone. The executive is everyone who's contributing to the protocol, so the actual builders, right? So they can keep innovating and helping the protocol to be the best solution and to make this super simple. And this is the vertical separation of power. So it's just like an outlook, because it's really important that you actually give power to everyone. So it's a bottom-up approach, right? Because otherwise you would only give the power to the people who are on top. And this is really like to represent minorities as well. So everyone, even who is like a small tribe, can actually have voting rights within the protocol. So this is theory, a lot of this is live, and we're launching actually next month. But to show you also how easy it is, it's 4 easy steps to launch your own nation state. So everything starts with just chatting to an AI bot, which helps you completely getting onboarded. So you set up your own Lemonade stand, you start communicating to other members, to other people, find out who they are, what are they representing, what is potentially their mission and vision. And you actually join communities or build your own communities. And then, once you actually found your tribe, you actually start collaborating even with other communities, tribes, villages, because again, many tribes turn actually into a village. And the last thing is actually that you start launching your network state, where the true power is happening to make a real life change in the world. So these are just some of our ecosystem partners who we are collaborating with, and I really want to highlight this. It's an open source public good, so we are not capable of building this completely in isolation and alone. So we're collaborating with lots of players in the Web3 space, and everyone who thinks who can contribute to this vision and mission, we would really like to collaborate on that together. So for example, to highlight human protocol, as soon as you have these nation states of like 10,000 plus people, each of them actually will need different jobs within their communities, and human protocol will actually come on board as a partner to make this vision possible. We have currently more than 50 nation states actually which are going to launch. So Vinyl Nation, for example, is a community to truly empower artists in the music space. Her AI, for example, is a female community of developers who's developing non-biased AI models. And each of them will create like their own passports with their own designs, and everyone can join these different nation states because they truly believe in the vision of these different communities. So yeah, I thank everyone for listening. I hope people are actually coming in and contributing and working with us together. The QR code is actually leading to our website, which we have launched 2 weeks ago. And on top, you see also like our Twitter handle. So everyone who wants to reach out, yeah, I would love to collaborate with everyone who's in the space and to make this big vision possible. Thank you.